Hiya. I do have very good carers who make sure they are respectful and sensitive in their approach to me and my home. But I thought I'd highlight how sometimes the way carers behave or things they say can make me feel either cared for or just a job to be done. Now, I certainly don't expect carers to consider working with me as some great privilege or anything. I'm their work and my house is their workplace, and I know that they're tired and want to go home. But sometimes I do feel like they've forgotten that I'm a human being rather than something like cattle that has to be fed and watered. I can feel a bit viewed like just another call to be hurried through so they can get away early. I do ask for things to be done in a certain way for a good reason, even though it may take a bit longer. When something is hurried, it can come across as they view it as unnecessary, or it's done in a slapdash manner and I'm not in the way I need. For example, as part of my personal care routine, I have the carers gently wipe down my arms and legs. It's important that it's done the way I've shown them so that it gives me effective pain relief. But sometimes the carers wipe me down quickly and roughly, like you would wash a car or a bath. Some bedridden sufferers who are unable to move at all need 2 carers per call, and they get rolled about like they're a sack of potatoes. It's so important to do it in a certain gentle way, otherwise they're left in worse pain and distress than before. Sufferers have to recover from carer visits as it is, without rough handling making them worse. Most of my calls are an hour, but there are some carers who always manage to do it in half an hour if they do things as fast as they can and only do the very basics. I don't mind if a carer is a little bit late or leaves a bit early, but I'm paying for an hour because I need that amount of help, so I do want a bit more than 30 minutes. Sometimes I do feel rushed and not everything gets done just because a carer wants an early finish. I do know that they don't have travel time and are very stressed and rushed, but there have been times when I'm their last call and then they're even more of a hurry to finish. I had a carer who used to complain that she had to drive back and forth to my village to have to do my call, making me feel like a nuisance and a chore. Sometimes call times are swapped about between carers because it suits them more, but it can mean clients having to have meals at weird times and a change of routine. What if a client needs to take tablets at a certain time? It could cause them problems. The time and length of a client's call should really be for the convenience of the client, rather than the other way round. The carers write out everything they've done in a carer book, so that there's always a record if needed. It doesn't need to be long drawn-out paragraphs, but sometimes what is written reflects a little of how I feel I've been viewed. When someone has written "fed Miranda," it does sound like they've been feeding the dog or something. There have been times when I've had 2 carers here and they've talked across me about something completely unrelated to my call, like I wasn't there. I've also had carers drop in to see the carer that's already here about something, meaning carers are just letting themselves in and coming and going without any permission. I don't want to be petty. The carers do a great job, but this is my home. It's all I've got. I have no space left in my life which isn't filled with people. It's a very upsetting way of life that Nigel and I are dealing with, and to have that acknowledged and approached in a careful way helps me to feel respected and well looked after. Thanks for listening. Bye.